My wonderful, beautiful, amazing Leos. I'm Gabriella from Gabriella's Vampire Tarot. For today, I'm going to be doing a general reading of past, present, future 9 card spread. I'm going to be using the regular tarot deck, clarify with the vampire deck, draw a special vampire card, draw a vampire oracle, and then draw 3 yes or no answers for thee. So let's get started on your reading. Okay, the general card is the 9 of Cups reversed. Let's look at the first row, which is also your past. 5 of Swords reversed. Okay. 6 of Swords reversed. Yeah. And the 3 of Swords. My goodness, one of the cards I pulled for the vampire who literally ended my life. Okay. Yeah, my beloved Leos, what happened? This was definitely a major heartbreak for you because Leos rule the heart. That's one of the important organs for Leos. Yeah, okay, so obviously, it's like you suffered some kind of grand loss, but you didn't give up, but yet it ended in some kind of heartbreak. Yeah, I mean, I find a lot of Leos very noble in many ways and stuff like that, but the thing is sometimes if you do actually suffer from some grand loss, it would actually be good to maybe take off and head towards something way different so you could avoid some kind of heartbreak and, afterwards and stuff like that. Because the thing is if you feel like that you have to hold on to something, whether it's a relationship, I know how strong-willed and passionate Leos are no matter what. But, it's like if if you've suffered from any kind of like loss of some kind, sometimes it's really good just to kind of say, okay, I tried something or it just didn't work out and now I'm just going to walk away. Because the thing is sometimes, it would be good just to kind of let go of whatever, just didn't work out for you because you did suffer some kind of heartbreak in the past. Wow. Okay. Well, I want to keep going and especially do a clarification because maybe it is, for the best, or maybe there's some kind of positive silver lining. Because in current times you get 8 of Wands reversed, 7 of Swords, and the Wheel of Fortune reversed. Okay. Yeah, the thing is, this could also be resonating in current times where you also feel like you have no kind of motivation. You feel like you have no luck or fortune on your side. You feel like you're just losing in current times. It's not saying you are a loser, but it just seems that, that you're pretty much not getting anything out of in current times. Because, the 8 of Wands is like there's no movement at all. The 7 of Swords is like, maybe being conned or dealing with some kind of con artist or some kind of deception. And it's pretty much causing you to, have no kind of luck or fortune in current times. What happened? I mean, I'm wondering if this could have been like maybe some kind of legal battle where you could have lost and had to pay the other party. I'm not really getting that all too well, but the thing is I'm just kind of thinking, what could be taking place during current times where you feel like that there's no movement and you just feel like that. I mean, the thing is on a positive note, the 7 of Swords is also kind of a strategy kind of. It's like a planning kind of card, but it's also an act of strategy. So it's like, well, maybe, you realize that there's no kind of movement, but you're kind of still planning in current times, even though you feel like that there's no luck or fortune on your side. Okay. Well, again, I just want to keep going just to know what's actually happening and stuff like that, because in current times, you get the Devil, Capricorn. Queen of Wands, one of your beautiful cards. And the High Priestess. Okay, well, at least there's some positivity taking place, at least in the future. Can't say when or how, of course. But yeah, okay, the Devil could be a desire-less kind of card, but it could also be internal fears about feeling like, you're stuck and you're not going anywhere, and the Devil is just going to put its talents in you, and it's pretty much just going to keep you confined. But I do see you incredibly strong, courageous, and you have the High Priestess. You can have Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio somewhere in your, or more Leos, in your star chart. But what I actually see here is, it's like you may feel like you're stuck in the future, but that does not ever keep the Leo down no matter what. And I find that beyond courageous and very strong-willed, because the thing is it's like sometimes, we're dealt with devil situations, it's like, it's so kind of a deceitful individual or situation, but yet you keep remaining this strong, bold, and courageous individual, and you have so much intuition, perception, love, security, confidence, and also clarity in the future, because this is where you could also be applying some kind of past experience in the future as well. Okay. Well, I want to know exactly what's happening. Because despite the Five of Swords reverse, you lost something because you get the Death card. Okay, this is the second card I pulled. The only card that's missing is the Lover's card. But anyway. Yeah, I saw that something else. Yeah, you had to let go of something or you lost some kind of battle because you went through a transition in the past. Okay, and that's why you didn't give up. Well, admirable, honorable, and I respect it 100%. No judgment ever coming from me as your Vampire Tarot Guide reader. But what I actually saw is, there was definitely some kind of maybe foreseen, well, unexpected. I mean, I'm not really seeing unexpected, but then again, it's like this could have also been a foreseen circumstance, where you pretty much just had to go through some kind of rebirthing moment in the past. Yeah, I mean, you could have Scorpio somewhere in your star chart, or maybe a Scorpio could have contributed to the situation. But either way, it just looks like that, okay, maybe you had to let go of something and you had to go through your own personal transition. Because despite the Six of Swords reversed, you got the Fool. So the thing is, I mean, I wonder if this opportunity, this 50-50, a leap of faith kind of situation kind of could have led to the Three of Swords situation. Because the thing is, it's like it's good to actually think outside the box, when you're going through a personal transition or a rebirthing moment, to actually think, how do we get out of this situation? Because there's no handbook that's going to be guiding or supporting us. So, but sometimes, we have to, we'll not let go of something because we're going to try out something new. I really want to know what that Three of Swords is. The Star, okay. Yeah, the thing is, it's like, actually, what I see here is, it's like, okay, there was some kind of, transition that took place, but yet, it's like there was some kind of painful ending, but, there was definitely some kind of star wish fulfillment that took place because you took the leap of faith. Huh. Because the thing is, what I'm actually more or less seeing here is, like, I mean, I'm just going to explain it to you yeah, there was something you had to kind of let go of. There was some kind of, like loss of some kind, but, it more or less, helped you kind of regenerate, having to recover or, having to have a rebirthing moment in the past because you didn't give up on something because you wanted to take a leap of faith to say, how can we actually, get out of this situation? So then, it's like, the process, was incredibly painful, maybe heartbreaking, maybe you had to let, go of something because that's also the Fool. It's kind of like, a 50-50 chance of some kind, but you definitely got some kind of star wish fulfillment despite this negative experience. Wow, that's actually interesting because, I think this whole rebirthing, this whole change of course, kind of situation was probably very painful because you probably had to really make some grand changes of whatever it may be, but you actually got something really positive out of it. I wonder what it could have been. I mean, again, you could have Aquarius, Scorpio in your star chart, but I definitely still saw something that actually manifested, even though it may have been painful. But you got something beautiful out of this whole past moment. But I want to keep going because, despite the Eight of Wands reversed, Eight of Grails. So the thing is, it's like you realize that something wasn't moving for you, so you decide to take off somewhere, because that's why you do get the Queen of Wands in the future. Okay, it's starting to actually make sense. You're changing course, it could be, that you're trying out different venues, you're trying out different, like, paths, you're actually, I mean, the star wish fulfillment could have also contributed to you to say, okay, something's not working out for me, but that's why I wish to actually keep going to find something different that's definitely going to work out for me. And it looks incredibly promising so far. I mean, you do get the High Priestess, but I love the Queen, the Queen of Wands in the future because, despite the Seven of Swords, you get the Eight of Pentacles. So I see you actually taking off, changing course, and you're going to be working. This is actually you planning, even though it's kind of like a deceptive kind of card. But I think that you're pretty much planning and strategizing something, and you're working incredibly hard, and you're incredibly motivated. I wonder if this was like maybe some kind of like job offering of whatever it could have been. Maybe, you handed a resume with a Fool to say, let's just try something out, think outside the box, and then you actually got the, the wish fulfillment, but then, something regarding the, painful ending of something, that could have also been, the painful ending of, the Five of Swords, situation that's actually, shedding off because you're actually, healing with the star wish fulfillment. You're taking off towards a different, like quest or voyage, and you're incredibly determined and motivated because you're working incredibly hard right now. Wow. Fortune reversed, the Hierophant. Oh, you could be dealing with a Taurus. You could have Taurus somewhere in your star chart. But what I see here is, it's like, I see that you're seeking counsel. This is also kind of like, this could be you, and this could be whoever it is, maybe guidance counselor, your parents, your family, friends, whoever it could be, and you're seeking counsel because, you actually want to, you're incredibly motivated and you're working hard right now, but this is you. Maybe it could even be a financial advisor saying, well, how can I improve my luck and finances in current times? Wonderful. I'm just so excited to know what actually this was. I mean, I'm getting like different kinds of like, senses, whether it's job related. I mean, I'm not really getting anything romance related unless it is, of course, romance related. But I do see you actually seeking counsel. You're actually getting some kind of advice from the Hierophant, and next to the Hierophant, which is one of the most powerful cards, you get the High Priestess, which in my eyes is considered the most powerful card. So, despite the Devil, you get Five of Wands. Okay, so there could be some kind of conflict or competition taking place, in the future. This could also be maybe, internal conflicts and competition. Maybe this is you trying to release yourself from all kinds of uncertainties of maybe you're trying to, say, no, I want to have that wheel of fortune start spinning again and not just only just be broken and stuck and stuff like that. So the thing is, you could be having internal conflicts and stuff like that. I mean, hopefully this is no conflict in the future with a potential devil person, whoever it may be, deity. So, but I do see you incredibly confident and strong afterwards. But I do see some kind of potential battle taking place. I mean, maybe this could already be the battle from the past, that you once upon a time didn't, lost, because of Five of Swords reversed, and then you more or less had to do some kind of rejuvenating, regrouping, some kind of rebirthing moment. And this could be, a repeat of that already previous battle and stuff like that. Because with the Queen of Wands, you get Seven of Skulls. Okay, so, you could eventually, be beating this devil kind of situation, but you could also be maybe pondering whether or not this, battle is actually worth your time. Because I see you incredibly confident, but you're also incredibly hesitant. Because maybe, you did beat this devil and stuff like that, but but with the Seven of Pentacles, it's like the result is there, but you're pretty much just kind of thinking, well, where do I go from here? Because with the High Priestess, you get Queen of Skulls. So what I'm kind of getting here is, it's like maybe you don't feel like dealing with any conflicts and competition in the future because this is you actually thinking, okay, we're strong and courageous because we don't feel like dealing with any more conflicts and drama because here is your intuition, here's clarity, here's the High Priestess, the most strongest individual. This is probably also your senses, your intuition, clarity. That's pretty much just saying, what, we are incredibly stable and balanced and grounded no matter what. So, you're already proving to yourself how strong and confident you are because, I do see some kind of, battle taking place, but I do see stability, financial stability all taking place because, your intuition, your senses, there's just so much clarity waiting for you in the future as well. Wow. Yeah, I think I mentioned this too, maybe even like Aries, Taurus, even Gemini, stuff like that, or even Cancer, or anybody before you, is that any kind of transition or change is very painful. But the thing is, it's like change is inevitable. Whether you have to let go of something, whether you have to change course. With the Eight of Cups, this is also a change of your route and stuff like that because, it's like you had to change, your course because you got the Three of Swords in the past and you wanted to leave that situation. And you're pretty much, motivated and determined with the situation. And, you have the Hierophant, as maybe a personal guide, maybe even, your own senses, your own intuition. That's pretty much just saying, okay, we don't have, 100% everything on our side. But, it's like we are strong enough to be dealing with this potential devil situation, whatever it may be. But we are strong, but yet we're hesitant about the whole process and ending of it. And this is you actually being in a very stable, grounded, very sharp-minded, financial, stable position in the future. Can't say when or how, of course. But and nothing worth having comes easy, and change and any kind of rebirthing. The transition is always incredibly painful no matter what, and it's sadly inevitable pain and suffering, or any kind of rebirthing for that matter. Wow. Personal vampire card. The Six of Swords upright. Did you already get the Six of Swords? Yes, this is the second Six of Swords. So I actually see you heading off towards a different location or a different direction. And that's with any kind of change, no matter what. Whether you're moving towards a different country, state, or city, you have to relocate to, for a different job, whatever it may be. Or any kind of like change, whatever it may be, is always going to be incredibly painful. Maybe you have to go back home or something, which could also be, painful and stuff like that. I mean, again, whatever resonates with you, of course, but I do see you heading off towards a different direction. And of course, any kind of transition is always a process and always, something that you have to overcome. Okay. Oracle. Come on, Oracle. Redemption, absolution, forgiveness, and penance. Man, woman, blonde, brunette, redhead. The thing is I don't think that you have to redeem yourself. The thing is, in order to redeem yourself is to live well and to actually, live a happy and beautiful, positive future for yourself. If your current situation doesn't seem good in any way, the thing is in order to redeem yourself is to prove how strong and capable you are and actually just never give up on yourself. Forgive yourself for any kind of past mistakes, any kind of like transgressions, no matter what. If you want to pay penance by, taking good care of yourself and just, reminding yourself, like, okay, any kind of transition, any kind of change, no matter what, is going to be scary because of the unknown. The unknown is scary for thousands and millions of humans. So the thing is I can understand, if there's anything that you pretty much, resulted in any kind of mistake or negative experience and stuff like that. Always forgive yourself, and if you want to do penance, please do not feel like you have to be punishing yourself no matter what, because any unforeseen circumstance was pretty much inevitable, with any kind of change, with any kind of transition. But if there was this, something that you were just so set on, of course, it's like, self-love and self-forgiveness is still important, even if you were pretty much adamant about making the mistake and stuff like that. Because the thing is you just don't know because of the unknown. The unknown could be a bad experience or it could be a good experience. So in any way, if you feel like you have to redeem yourself, I just feel like, take good care of yourself and be the confident, strong, bold, beautiful Queen of Wands. And that's what I see you doing. Okay. Well, I'm going to have to finish off with 3 yes or no answers. Please feel free to pause this video. But for question number 1, you get a yes with the 9 of Wands. Ace of Cups. Yes. And no with the 9 of Swords. Okay, my beloved Leos, I'm going to have to leave it at this. But if this reading resonated, please feel free to join and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me and subscribing to my channel. I love you guys incredibly. I think everything is just going to work out no matter what, but I just really hope the best no matter what for you all. In a few days, I'm going to go back to love rings. I'm going to go back and forth between general love for now, but if anybody wants to have a personal reading, which I'm open for right now, please feel free to post in the discussion box and I'll respond to you with my email, and then we'll more or less get the process going there. But anyway, thank you guys so much. I love you guys incredibly and best of luck.